Right now, addressing gun violence, community leaders coming together to talk about solutions.
Plus, Campaign 2022. Candidates hitting the ground running this week following the primaries.
And it's pretty outside, and it feels pretty as well. We'll tell you the latest coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Summer Friday. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Brighter. Leland Scheid is off this morning. Julian Seawright is here with your first warned weather forecast. Beautiful start out there. It's a little weird, we were dealing with all that heat and humidity over the last couple of weeks. It just doesn't feel right out there, although I think a lot of people aren't complaining.
No, not at all, especially waking up to not only it just being beautiful, but man, does it feel great outside. Woo! Let's go ahead and take a look outside as of right now. This is what we're feeling as we are waking up for our Friday morning. This is just Friday weather. Beautiful sunrise, and on top of it, as we go throughout the rest of the morning, going into this afternoon, folks, 60s in second week of August. Gotta love that. However, we do have a shot of seeing some showers rolling its way into Madison by the time we get into the lunchtime hour. But just note, from mid to late morning, it is going to feel cool, and the cloud cover is going to stick around. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin: 54 degrees in Madison, 52 in Janesville, 58 in Platteville, and our friends in Lone Rock have 54 degrees for us. We take a look at dew points, still very comfortable as we're heading out the door. So it's one of those mornings where it's nice to sit out on your patio if you have it, or on your porch, and have a nice little sip of your coffee. Now, as we take a look outside on our radar, this is what we're looking at, been watching for over the last couple of hours, is this line of showers that have developed in northern Wisconsin. But the thing is, not a lot of it is hitting the ground. This is the current track of that showers that are starting to roll in from northern Wisconsin. Just outside of La Crosse, we can start to see is pushing itself around southeasterly flow and could reach to some areas like Platteville within the next 20 minutes. But overall, a lot of that rain is still just not hitting the ground. So we're going to be monitoring that throughout the rest of this morning and how that could impact the rest of our afternoon. And it could impact our Saturday as well. But it's just going to be a bit more inconvenient than it would be disruptive. Not looking for widespread storms, but possible to see a chance of one going into our Saturday as well. Temperatures will be around 81 on Saturday, Sunday around 76. But folks, this weekend is still going to just be a start to another wonderful trend that's going to lead into next week. We'll talk more about that in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Some Madisonians are frustrated this morning about guns, wanting solutions, and soon.
That's why the city put together a community safety event to bring all sides of gun violence together to do something about it. The panel is organized by 18th Ward Alderman Charles Miadze, and included Mayor Saatchi Rhodes Conway. He says there is no easy solution to this problem, but something must be done. Public Health in Dane County also involved.
There's ways that we can get to the root causes of violence that doesn't involve law enforcement, where we're addressing, homelessness. We're trying to address food insecurity.
The city's CARES mental health response team, Operation Fresh Start, and other youth outreach programs also had representatives there last night. More than 36 people graduating in Madison receiving a badge instead of a diploma.
State corrections leaders hope those graduates can get to work right away inside understaffed prisons. As Braden Ross shows us, the staffing issues aren't unique to the state facilities. Counties are also feeling the pinch.
That's Class 388, Wisconsin's largest graduating class of correctional officers this year. Their badge ceremony couldn't come soon enough for short-staffed state prisons, but county jails are hurting for help too.
It's just hard to get people to stay for long periods of time right now.
Last week, Greene County Sheriff Jeff Scatrud announced that his jail would no longer be accepting female inmates due to staffing issues. Scatrud says they've struggled to hire and keep jail employees. Today's DOC graduates can't help with county-level problems, but Secretary Kevin Carr is confident the overall problem is starting to turn around.
Our next class is going to be between 60 and 70 individuals that are going to be able to start to provide some much-needed relief to our overworked staff.
In March, Governor Evers announced a pay raise for state corrections officers, hoping to attract new applicants. But while more money doesn't hurt, graduates like Laura Schwartz really just want to help.
I know there's a lot of burnout, people are tired, and I'd like to help out.
Scatrud would take a fraction of the total state graduates today for his county problem. Still, he's hopeful to find the help he needs.
When you got really good people, you get through it, and we'll meet that challenge. We'll get staffed up, and we'll come out just fine on the other side.
The Department of Corrections says applications have been trending up since the beginning of June.
New this morning, 2 people are in jail after what Madison police are calling a weeks-long drug investigation involving a business. Tao Van Lee and Ben Hua Nguyen are both facing multiple charges, including manufacturing cocaine and possession with intent to distribute. Police say officers served a search warrant at a business on East Wash near Milwaukee Street. Lee has a $500 signature bond that was set in court yesterday. Nguyen is set to make an initial court appearance next month.
Also new this morning, a 40-year-old man who police say was impaired was arrested on Wednesday after crashing on the Beltline. Police say the crash happened westbound on the Beltline near Gammon Road around 5:30. After crashing the car, the driver got out of the vehicle and was unresponsive. A law enforcement officer revived him with Narcan and took him to the hospital. That man then lunged and hit another officer and sexually assaulted someone while at the hospital. He now faces tentative charges, including first offense OWI and 4th-degree sexual assault.
Campaign 2022 coverage now with the primaries over and done with. Candidates are wasting no time hitting the campaign trail. Yesterday, Mandela Barnes made multiple stops across the state. The back and forth has already begun between him and his opponent, incumbent Ron Johnson. Barnes called on his supporters to get rid of the senator. Johnson says that Barnes and Democrats are taking America down the wrong path.
So for the next 90 or so days, we are going to fight for our future. And guess what? We're going to win.
Incentives, energy independence, national security, a secure neighborhood, community. That's what makes for a strong economy and greater opportunity for Americans.
Barnes and Johnson will continue to campaign against each other until the November general election. Continuing coverage now, former President Donald Trump says he wants documents related to the search of his Mar-a-Lago home to be released.
The Justice Department spent yesterday working to unseal that warrant. Agents were looking for classified documents that may have been illegally taken from the White House. The Washington Post reporting that some documents the FBI was looking for were related to nuclear weapons. Attorney General Merrick Garland says he personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant, adding that the Justice Department doesn't take these matters lightly.
Really, Merrick Garland has thrown the gauntlet down and said, well, we'll show you our cards. Now your turn.
Trump's legal team has until 2 p.m. our time today to decide whether it wants to oppose the motion. They're also discussing whether to publicly release video and still images of the search.
Happening now, a man in Ohio dead after trying to breach the FBI field office in Cincinnati. Police shot and killed 42-year-old Ricky Schiffer after he fled the scene, leading to an hours-long standoff. Authorities say they tried to use less lethal options to arrest him before he pointed a gun at officers.
The suspect then did raise a firearm toward law enforcement, and shots were fired by law enforcement officers on the scene. At that point, the suspect was deceased. He succumbed to his injuries at the scene, and everything remains under investigation at this time.
Federal investigators are now looking into Schiffer's background, including possible ties to far-right extremist groups, including the Proud Boys, and whether he was at the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. His motive for trying to breach the FBI office is still under investigation.
Around the state this morning, a Wisconsin man being committed to a mental institution for the rest of his life. This after being convicted of a murder that was ruled a hate crime. 27-year-old Daniel Navarro of Fond du Lac was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide in a crash that killed a retired law enforcement officer in the summer of 2020. Navarro told investigators he had been verbally attacked by white people because of his race and killed the man because he was white. Navarro pleaded not guilty due to mental disease, and 2 doctors told the jury that Navarro suffered from schizophrenia.
Coming up, the most famous cornfield in Iowa may not be heaven, but it sure is close for dads and their kids.
And crab whiskey? We'll show you the handcrafted whiskey infused with crab.
The Volkswagen Taos, German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos, starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Only two things are forever: love and Liberty Mutual customizing your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And if anyone objects to this marriage, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love, and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
Reviews are very important. It really reflects on how we're handling customers at Precision Door. It's feeling like I'm helping out my neighbor. Quality service quickly from a name you can trust.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Who needs pants?
Got it.
Come on, let's go. Hustle.
Stroller?
Double stroller. Let's go.
Hustle, run. Come on.
Let's go.
I'm gonna fall up.
When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
hi guys, welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
If Tim Michaels is governor, here's what reproductive health care would look like in Wisconsin. Providing abortions? A felony. Exceptions in cases of rape or incest? None. Here's what Michaels says to Wisconsin women who get pregnant after being raped. To ask her to go through the birth is not unreasonable. Tim Michaels is a radical and divisive politician coming for your rights. Wisconsin women deserve better. Vote no on Tim Michaels.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving.
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Life gets bigger when you break from the herd. The Volkswagen Tiguan. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the versatile 2022 Tiguan. Limited inventory available.
You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:12 on a Friday morning, and for the second straight year, the MLB has brought baseball to Iowa for the Field of Dreams game.
This year, it was the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. The players came out of the corn stalks, just like in the movie, as Reds legend Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. played catch. Cubs legend Fergie Jenkins threw out the first pitch, right to Reds legend Johnny Bench. Game didn't come with as many fireworks as last year's, but the Cubs took an early lead, never looked back. They won it 4-2 against the Reds. Eric Hansen has more on the fans that flooded the small town of Dyersville.
Even in the line that stretched for a block, dads could already tell.
It is. Today is a special day.
Because right by Ryan's side,
Wilson Contreras, catcher, batting second.
Breckett was rattling off the Cubs starting lineup. About the same time, Brandon Jr. in the Joey Votto jersey.
Get there. All right. Good job.
Fired a strike into Brandon Sr., the guy he watched the movie with just last week and plays catch with nearly every night.
Seeing the importance of that and, you know, just the family time that you can have. And you can't get this back. And, you know, this is something that he's going to remember forever. So, yeah, there's nothing like it playing with your son.
For 2 hours, Dyersville's cornfield was filled with family moments. Kids throwing, dads catching, and everyone trying their best to freeze this moment on this field in their memory box. Ghost players see these moments and pose for pictures most every week. But when Jim Offerman, an extra in the movie, convinced his son to suit up too, so they could have a catch?
Yeah, it gets you a lot. Having him here gets me.
Choked up dads and grandpas were all over Dyersville's field for 2 hours, soaking in these moments. And the game, that was still an hour away.
That was Eric Hansen reporting. Last night's game also featured a hologram of legendary Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for the 7th inning stretch. The MLB says there will be no Field of Dreams game next year.
How cool.
Yeah, what's incredible memories.
You can just see the emotions. Like, that is a special moment right there. Well, you only have a couple more chances to visit Packers training camp this summer. The team announcing the times for its final public practices for training camp. Practice on August 16th and 17th. That's next Tuesday and Wednesday. Will start at 10:30 in the morning. The team's last public practice was yesterday as they get ready for their first preseason game of the year tomorrow night against the San Francisco 49ers. We are now just a month away from the Packers' first regular season game at Minnesota on September 11th. Boy, is time flying by.
It's coming soon. Let's see if we have any fall weather in the forecast. Julian Seawright with the current setup. Hey, Julian.
That's right. We do have some fall weather as we are waking up this morning, but what we're watching for is how this current setup is going to potentially fuel some showers or storms for us that could interrupt some of our plans throughout today or even going into our weekend. So this is what we're looking at here. We have a high pressure system which is set over Lake Michigan, keeping things mainly on the dry side, but we are looking at this stationary frontal boundary, which is acting as a catalyst for some storms that are starting to fire off in Minnesota and look to flow their way into southern Wisconsin by the time we get into the later part of today. But the thing is, we still have a lot of dry air on the surface, so a lot of the rain that's starting to develop isn't actually hitting the ground for us. As we take a look over the last 3 hours, we've been seeing that slew of a line of some showers into northern Wisconsin, but a lot of it has not really hit the ground, as we're still looking at minimal amounts of rainfall just to the northwest of La Crosse. And as we go on throughout the rest of this morning, by mid-morning, we are looking for that system to continue to trickle its way into western parts of southern Wisconsin. But by the late morning hour, it's going to reach into Sauk County and just outside of Dane County. But we're still not looking at too much in terms of rain to really be hitting the ground for us once again. But timing it out, we could still want to have that rain gear nearby just in case we do see a bit of those showers by the time we reach our lunchtime hour. But aside from that, early afternoon, we are looking at it to start to fizzle out a bit and continue to track east. And by the 5 p.m. commutes, things are pretty much done. As we take a look at what we're seeing, temperatures still holding into the upper 60s, so it's going to be almost a fall-like day for us as we're into the back end of the work week. Going into the overnight hours, we're looking at cloud cover to stick around, leading into potential of some pop-up showers going into our Saturday morning, and could potentially see a couple of those storms starting to fire off as well. But overall, it's going to stay on the dry side once again throughout much of our weekend, and we are looking to warm things back up heading into our Saturday. Again, since we're not looking for a whole lot of rain to really hit the ground, it's going to be a minimal amount, 1/10 of an inch for many areas throughout southern Wisconsin. Some areas could see 1/4 of an inch. But overall, we're going to be looking at things to stay rather dry throughout the next few days, especially going into next week as well. But temperatures are going to stay into the 70s. Our best chance as of right now is Friday and Saturday to see some showers and storms, and for Thursday and Friday of next week. Now, taking a quick look at our traffic as of right now, as those are heading out the door, Beltline is green and smooth as butter. As we take a look over towards the interstates, well, more or less of the same. It's going to do it for our weather and traffic updates. Let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Julian. Looking ahead, driving off with that shiny new car is likely to cost you more than ever. Auto research company Kelley Blue Book says the average price Americans are paying now for a new vehicle hit a record in July at more than $48,000. Unusually high demand and low inventories are driving those prices up. And once you buy the car, the expenses keep mounting. AAA says owning a vehicle typically costs close to $900 a year now. That is up from just over $800 in 2021.
At Tamworth Distilling and Mercantile, Will Robinson is introducing visitors to a small batch handcrafted whiskey infused with crab. The meat comes from European green crabs harvested along the New Hampshire coastline. The first batch of Robinson's Crab Trapper whiskey sold out shortly after hitting his distillery shelves. The unusual whiskey crab pairing isn't just about flavor. Robinson is helping control the green crab population.
Their sheer numbers are kind of throwing things off, not leaving enough food for in one place in the ecosystem, and then just wreaking havoc in other ways.
Recent warming sea temperatures have caused the population of green crabs to increase dramatically, and it's now one of the most invasive species in the U.S. It threatens communities of oysters, clams, and mussels. There are trials underway to turn the green crabs into other products, including pet food and fertilizer.
Looking ahead, Frito-Lay launching ketchup-flavored Doritos. Check this out. One of the most popular flavors, believe it or not, in Canada. Though the American version is going to be a little bit different, the company says it's still going to be based off that Canadian flavor. A mustard-flavored chip is coming too. This time, the flavor is inspired by Chinese hot mustard. Doritos calls it spicy mustard. Both varieties available on Frito-Lay's website for a limited time. What do you think, Josh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, which one would you try first?
I'm going ketchup.
I would go ketchup, too.
I'm going ketchup, followed shortly after by a mustard one. Maybe one of each at the same time. You get that little mix.
Oh. Could even put it on, like, crunched up, put it on top of a hot dog.
Yeah, that'd do that.
Wisconsin brat.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Let's live.
6:20 right now. Coming up and trending, the last thing you'd expect to see when driving down the interstate.
Crazy video. And in our next half hour, if an alternative plan for the Dane County Jail could make it out of committee last night. Stay with us.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing train equipment and servicing all brands.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, and to celebrate, we're stacking the deals. Buy any sofa or sectional and get 20% off your second purchase. Get another 20% off both items. Plus, we are still offering great special financing at Slumberland Furniture.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Surgenian's 92-year history means you pay $92 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 18-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Migraine attacks? You can't always avoid triggers like stress. Qulipta can help prevent migraine attacks. You can't prevent what's going on outside. That's why Qulipta helps what's going on inside. Qulipta is a pill, gets right to work to prevent migraine attacks and keeps them away over time. Qulipta blocks CGRP, a protein believed to be a cause of migraine attacks. Qulipta is a preventive treatment for episodic migraine. Most common side effects are nausea, constipation, and tiredness. Learn how AbbVie can help you save on Qulipta.
Beneful knows a full life doesn't just happen. It's a choice to take a swing or take that big leap, to taste all life has to offer. Because a joyful life is a Beneful life.
I love this state. Knock on any door in any county, and you'll find good-hearted, hard-working folks. People whose businesses I proudly helped as Lieutenant Governor. Hard work needs to be respected again, with fair wages and opportunities to get ahead. That's how my parents opened doors for me. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I'm not one of these millionaires. I work just as hard for you as you work for your family. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
It's Slumberland's anniversary mattress sale, and we've got great deals and specials on mattresses. Like a free bedding bundle with select mattress purchases of $5.99 or more. That's 2 free pillows, a sheet set, comforter, and 2 pillowcases. Free, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Welcome back. 6:24 on a Friday morning. Julie sharing her morning out of the Rock River in Jefferson. Take a look at that.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Beautiful.
It's the place to be this time of year, you know what I mean? out on the water, blue skies.
Take it all in.
Yeah, and you got to cherish these days while we still have them before fall comes in.
I'm about to say, because now I guess it's the countdown to how many more photos of these we're going to have.
I know.
Before we start getting the fall color pictures.
Everyone always asks, you know, it's like, why do you live up north? You know, whenever you go down, it's like, well, we do it for the summer, right?
Yeah, for those 3 months out of the year where
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Can't beat it. All right, trending here in Wisconsin this morning, it's the last thing you'd expect to see come flying at you when you're driving down the interstate.
Take a look at this crappy situation. At least 7 porta potties fell off of a truck on I-94 near Milwaukee, scattering them across the highway. Several people crashed into them, with 4 cars needing to be towed away. Luckily, the portable toilets were empty with the exception of some toilet paper. That's some good news, at least. And nobody was hurt. Still, drivers said they couldn't believe their eyes. The company that was hauling the porta potties hasn't said what happened, but the sheriff's office says the driver was not given a ticket.
Like interstate speed smashed. Look at that. They
my gosh.
Slam right into it. Those things are standing up right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, now it's totally your car. Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't imagine just coming up to a porta potty just sitting there right in the middle of the interstate.
Yeah, that's a what the moment right there.
Explain that to your insurance companies.
At least,
I swear. I swear it was a porta potty. Good thing there's video.
Couldn't miss it. There was a porta potty in the middle of the road.
Right,
at least they were empty.
And glad to hear that nobody was hurt.
Yeah,
that could have been terrible. All right, how about a quick weather to get us going here into the weekend, Julian?
Well, this weekend we do have a couple of opportunities to see some showers or even some storms, but they're not going to be very widespread. Actually, almost all of us are going to be rather dry. Then, folks, the great news is next week, well, we are seeing 70s. It's going to stay around for the forecast, at least for the foreseeable future, until we see some chances of some rain coming back for Thursday and Friday, guys.
All right, stick around, folks. More to come here on News 3 Now this morning, right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
I'm a mom of 4 kids. We have 1 in high school, a toddler, and our latest addition, 7-month-old twins. I can appreciate the impacts of inflation. DC liberals just keep spending. All that money isn't free, and families are paying the price. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting to help Wisconsin families. He voted against reckless spending that caused inflation and to cut waste in Washington. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to keep fighting to stop the spending and hold DC liberals accountable.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Come on, Brian.
Dad, look.
Brian, come on!
I'm Courtney.
I'm Brian.
Ready, Brian? Summer won't last forever, but you can go out and make memories that will during Toyota's National Sales Event.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. See your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Who says you have to spend more on skincare to get results? I power up my skin with Olay. It works, guaranteed. Try niacinamide for strength, retinol 24 for smoothness, and vitamin C for brightness. I like to use them all. Olay, face anything.
Here at Precision, we are veteran owned, and we take pride in servicing not only our community, but serving our country as well. No job is too big and no job is too small. Here at Precision, we'll fix them all.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
New developments this morning in the efforts to fix the Dane County Jail as county leaders recommend what to do about Plan B.
Plus, turkey shortage. Why you may notice some of your favorite deli meats missing.
And we're waking up to feeling like fall, but we could see some rain chances. We'll be timing that out coming up.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Leah Linscheid has the morning off. Julian Seawright is in with your first warn weather forecast. Beautiful sunrise out there, a little cooler than what we're used to, but no complaints here.
No, not at all. And some of us might even see our breath as we're waking up this morning.
That cool out,
It's
huh?
honestly that cool outside. We're going to go ahead and plan out the rest of the day for us because as we're waking up, that's right, we have a gorgeous sunrise here in Madison. And folks, we're in the 50s as we're kicking things off this morning. 54 degrees here in Madison. Not a lot of moisture in our air either, so it's rather comfortable as we're waking up this morning. And that's going to feel like that throughout the course of the mid and late morning hours. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin at 54 degrees in Janesville, 58 into Platteville with 54 into Lone Rock as of right now. Dew points again are not overly high, a little bit more moisture into the northwest between Viroqua and La Crosse areas, but overall still rather comfortable as we're waking up this morning, which is great news to get our Friday morning started for us. So planning out the rest of today, we're going to still hold on to those 50s throughout the early morning hours, but by mid and late morning, we'll start to see those 60s roll in. But outside of it, folks, we do have a couple of shots of seeing some rain, but it's not going to be very widespread. So some of us may want to keep the rain gear nearby, but overall, we're not going to be seeing a washout by the time we get into our Friday afternoon. Now, our radar does look like it's hinting at some showers that will start to roll its way into southern Wisconsin, but it's starting to fall apart just outside of La Crosse. And on top of it, what we're going to be looking at throughout the course of the day, which we'll time out in just a moment, is that a lot of that rain's not even going to hit the ground because we still have a lot of dry air on the surface. Saturday, we have a chance of seeing some storms as we're going to be warming up into the lower 80s. And Sunday, around 76 degrees, but we're going to be drying out. We'll be timing out everything in just a few moments, folks. Until then, let's go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. It looks like an alternative plan for the Dane County Jail isn't going anywhere. A committee struck down the plan from the board's Black Caucus last night. The joint meeting between the Public Protection and Judiciary and the Public Works and Transportation Committees took up the proposal. Public Works voted to recommend the plan for denial in front of the full board next week. Public Protection and Judiciary voted not to make a recommendation.
The Black Caucus plan would have lowered the amount of beds available to 725 compared to Sheriff Calvin Barrett's 825-bed plan. The plan includes several specific policies like weekend court and bail reform aimed at reducing the jail population, something that the current plan doesn't have. In March, a project was approved after years of back and forth, but in June, the estimated cost went $10 million over budget, something the Board of Supervisors says is unlikely to pass. Sheriff Barrett says he wants the plan to go to the voters as a referendum.
The Republican-controlled Wisconsin State Legislature joining another lawsuit against the Wisconsin Elections Commission, this time hoping to block guidance that allows the so-called curing of absentee ballot envelopes. The suit stems from 2016 guidance that told clerks that they were allowed to enter some missing information on a returned absentee envelope, including the zip code or the witness's address. The Elections Commission submitted that guidance to the legislature as a formal rule, but the legislature threw that rule out last month. The guidance will remain in place until the lawsuit is decided.
Happening tomorrow, the Dane County Sheriff's Office is hosting a gun buyback event at the Alliant Energy Center. Those who return their firearms, anything from a BB gun or an assault-style rifle, will receive a gift card from the Sheriff's Office. The prices of those gift cards are up on your screen right now. The event runs again tomorrow from 10 to 2.
6:33 now to a big problem in Rock County this morning where officials are trying to solve a deadly problem with fentanyl. Last year, it caused 47 deaths in the county. The sheriff says the jail alone is responding to about one overdose every 3 weeks. At a roundtable hosted by Congressman Brian Stile yesterday, the Rock County Jail said it's currently looking at bringing in scanners to help identify the drug. Because it's cheaper to make, fentanyl has found its way into all sorts of illicit drugs, catching users unaware. Sheriff Knutson says the drug is easier to sneak inside the jail as well, given its small size. It was recently the cause of 3 overdoses happening all at once.
The situation looked very dire, very dismal, and I didn't have a huge amount of hope that we were going to be able to bring all of them back. I wasn't sure we were going to bring any of them back.
Officers were able to rescue all 3, but it was a close call that no one at this roundtable wants to see repeated.
Madison police say they've arrested a teenager after a string of bomb threats at Memorial High School. The threats started in February and continued until April. None of those were considered credible, but did disrupt classes for several days in a row. Police say they arrested 17-year-old Joseph Garrison for those threats this week, as well as threats made to other schools outside of Dane County during that time. He's now being charged with 9 felonies, including 5 counts of bomb scares, 3 counts of making terroristic threats, and 1 count of attempting a bomb scare. The U.S. Marshals Service says they've arrested someone in northern Ohio who escaped from their custody at Mitchell International Airport last year. Robert Johnson Jr. was being transported to the Rock County Jail in Janesville back in November when he had his handcuffs removed and he punched his transporter multiple times to escape. In a news release, the U.S. Marshals said he led law enforcement on a car chase Wednesday that ended up with him crashing and his rearrest.
The CDC easing up on its COVID-19 guidelines, saying it estimates 95% of Americans 16 and older have some level of immunity to the virus. The health agency no longer recommends a quarantine for close contacts of those infected, and there is no longer a need to maintain 6 feet of social distancing between folks.
If you've noticed a lack of turkey in the deli section, you are not alone this morning. Experts say it's because of the avian flu's impact on Minnesota, as well as continued supply chain problems.
Main supplier for our deli slicing meat is about 4 months out now with getting that product back in.
Minnesota is the #1 turkey producing state in the country. This spring, 80 farms in that state had been impacted by the bird flu. About 75% of them are commercial turkey farms. While bird flu cases have dropped in Minnesota, there is concern a second wave of flu could hit during fall migration. The USDA, though, is not anticipating a turkey shortage for Thanksgiving.
Police are asking for your help this morning identifying this guy. It's a surveillance photo here from an Eastside apartment building where he was seen pulling multiple envelopes out of a mail slot. Building management says several rent checks were stolen. If you know who this guy is, or maybe you saw him on North Thompson Drive last week, call Madison Area Crime Stoppers at 266-6014.
Coming up on 6:37 on a Friday morning, live look outside at the roads. Traffic moving along just fine. No crashes at this moment. We will monitor that as you head out for your morning commute. Julian is also breaking down that extended forecast coming up.
And heat mapping, how scientists are diagnosing problems in cities so they can plan a cooler solution.
Save big on throwback sale at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley. Get an Ashley Sleep Twin mattress starting at $169. Save $1,000 instantly on Serta Cozy Escape Sleeper Pillow Top. Guaranteed delivery in 5 days or less on in-stock mattresses. Shop now at Ashley.
Sure feels good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right.
Without the right start to your day, your morning could hit a wall.
That's not the door. I got it.
Velveeta breakfast biscuits are baked with slow-release carbs and provide steady morning energy to help you rise and thrive.
If Tim Michels is governor, here's what reproductive health care would look like in Wisconsin. Providing abortions? A felony. Exceptions in cases of rape or incest? None. Here's what Michels says to Wisconsin women who get pregnant after being raped. To ask her to go through the birth is not unreasonable. Tim Michaels is a radical and divisive politician coming for your rights. Wisconsin women deserve better. Vote no on Tim Michaels.
It's Fuel Frenzy Weekend this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Get a 5-cent fuel saver on fresh ground chuck, a 5-cent fuel saver on Lay's potato chips, an 8-cent fuel saver on Baskin and Bushel blueberries, an 8-cent fuel saver on 7-Up or Canada Dry 6-packs when you buy 4, a 5-cent fuel saver on Entenmann's Little Bites, and get a 20-cent fuel saver on Mia Italian Take and Bake pizzas. Don't miss Fuel Frenzy Weekend this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Ooh, Kohler, of course. When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luxstone. The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
Wisconsin, save big on throwback sale happening now at Ashley. Save up to 58% off doorbusters while they last, plus special financing for 5 years. Shop now to see our lowest prices in store at Ashley.
Let's go.
News 3 Now primary election coverage brought you everything you needed to know. The latest results, team coverage of the key races, reaction, and analysis. That's why your local election headquarters is News 3 Now.
Imagine a world without breast cancer. What if you were the one more we needed to raise one more dollar, take one more step, share one more story? The power of one starts with you. Join us for the More Than Pink Walk, August 28th.
You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
Hey, some Northern Soul, meaning old school R&B. That's how the Madison band, the Periodicals, describe their music. The local band played Albert Garden's concert series this week. We asked the lead singer, Nico Murphy, what makes playing locally special?
Madison music scene is very, very diverse. You have your hip hop, you have classical music. There's so many opportunities for different kinds of music and ventures. This is something new for me, growing up in a church. Now I'm singing rock music. That's a little different, but I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
This weekend, you can learn more about the Periodicals, how they started, and where you can catch them next in our Morning Notes segment. You can only see right here on News 3 Now.
As climate change makes hot weather more volatile, big cities many times don't help. Urban heat islands are where a collection of buildings and pavement retain heat and make it even hotter. The islands can increase energy costs, air pollution levels, and heat-related illnesses. So now cities are using drones with thermal cameras to better understand densely populated areas.
Now looking over the park, you can see areas of which are hot, which are being cooked by the sun. Prime example right here is the reflection off the shelter that we're standing by and the path where you can see asphalt.
City planners are using the data to figure out how to build out their cities and implement new infrastructure. A way to cool down cities is by using more green roofs with grass or vegetation on top. Those will absorb the heat instead of radiate it.
Fascinating. Let's check in on your local weather now. Julian Seawright setting things up for us here on a Friday. Hey, Julian.
And our setup is going to be rather fall-like, even though we do have a chance of some areas to see some showers or potentially even some storms throughout the course of today and going into our Saturday as well. So we're going to kind of take a look at what we could be seeing here. High-pressure system is going to be settling into Lake Michigan, which is going to keep things rather on the dry side. But we are looking at the stalled-out fronts, which is starting to act as a catalyst for fueling storms into Minnesota and areas of Iowa, which will try to leak into southern Wisconsin. But since we still have some surface level dry air, we could see a lot of that rain not even hit the ground. So this is what we've been seeing all morning. Just a slew of some showers developing in northern Wisconsin, starting to trickle its way south directly, just outside of La Crosse, but already fell apart just a bit throughout much of our morning. Now, taking a look at how much rain we've seen from that small little section of some showers, well, again, a lot of it's not hitting the ground. So not a lot, barely even 1/10 of an inch for some of those areas. And even near La Crosse, a lot of it didn't hit the ground at all. So we, as of right now, have seen seen pretty much no rain. So as we get in throughout the rest of this morning, by mid-morning, could start to see it cluster up a little bit more, but again, not a lot of it is going to hit the ground. So into the northwest, just outside of La Crosse or Viroqua, could start to see some showers, but then as we get into the late morning hours, we'll start to see it cluster a bit more. So just outside of Sauk County and Dane County, we're going to look at some of that rain starting to leak its way in by the time we get into our lunchtime hour. So it's going to be cloudy throughout the course of the day. You're not going to really need sunglasses by the time we're into our lunchtime hour. And some of the rain, some areas, once again, could start to see it hit the ground, but overall, a lot of us are not going to see any of this rain throughout the course of this event. Then as we get into the early afternoon, it's going to start to continue to push itself east and then fall apart by the time we get into our dinner time hours around the 5 p.m. commute. As we go into tonight, a couple of pocket showers are possible. Cloud cover is going to stick around, and that's going to lead into our Saturday, where we have another set of some popcorn showers and potentially a thunderstorm that could start to develop. And with those southerly winds, we are looking at temperatures to rise into those upper 70s, near 80. But overall, again, we are not looking at this to be a very widespread event throughout much of the weekend. Could be inconvenient at some times, but overall, we're not looking at this to be very disruptive towards the weekend. Now, some areas just to the north could see a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch. Overall, if any of the rain does hit the ground, it's going to be less than a 1/10 of an inch as of right now for us. Taking a look at what we could be expecting after this weekend, though, 70s are going to stick around for the first week of kids going back to school, and Friday Night Lights starts into next Friday, and it's going to be shaping up to be pretty great for us. 70s will stick around. Our best chance for rain returns Thursday and Friday, guys.
Thank you. Badger volleyball team back in the field house for their first practices of the season, and the team isn't getting hung up on last year's wins, but rather looking forward to this year.
Not the defending national champs. Like, we're a whole different team. Like, we are us. Like, that was last year's team. This is a whole new chapter, a whole new start. So no pressure, just go out there and play.
The Badgers' first red and white scrimmage is already next weekend. Their season kicks off at the Fieldhouse September 2nd against Marquette.
Well, the pandemic paused Susan G. Komen's signature fundraiser for 2 years, but now the More Than Pink Walk is returning to Madison this month. You'll find one local business and family man in attendance who's ready to get his steps in for a future without breast cancer. Charlotte Deleste shares his story.
It's rare to find someone who hasn't been touched by cancer.
I think just about everyone out there does, but my grandmother had breast cancer back in the 70s and a mastectomy and survived until she was 102.
Kendall Richards was a little boy when that happened, but remembers it well.
I think they were shocked that she made it past 5 years. And then after maybe 10, and I was pretty young at the time, but after 10, I think it was, you know, kind of in the rearview mirror. I mean, I don't think it was a huge part of her life, but it certainly has impacted friends and other family members as well. So breast cancer is something that we all, you know, have connections to.
And his connection has grown for well over 2 decades. His family and business, All Comfort Services, have been top fundraisers and supporters of Susan G. Komen's More Than Pink Walk and Race for the Cure, with the same goal as everyone else involved.
My wife and I have 3 beautiful daughters, you know, 30, 28, and 26, and you know, I think that the thought of, you know, doing something that's going to impact them, you know, and trying to find a cure, trying to help find a cure.
Which is why Richards is thrilled the walk is coming back after a 2-year hiatus.
It's an amazing day. They have all their survivors are there. It's really a way of remembering people that have passed, as well as cheering on people that are still fighting it.
And what makes this event even more amazing is the experience. The experience of meeting people we can all get behind.
When you're participating in any program, and with Susan G. Komen, you meet people that have been impacted, people that are fighting the fight, and you find these amazing people that have the strength not only to fight their fight, but to help others fight their fight and help fundraising. So, you know, I have, you know, countless number of friends that are out in the breast cancer survivor community, and some that have passed. So, you know, it means a lot to me personally.
Charlotte Deleste reporting. The More Than Pink Walk is 9 a.m. on Sunday, August 28th at Alliant Energy Center's Willow Island. Now is the time to sign up. To register to walk or donate, you can visit Komen.org.
We would love to see you guys out there. We really would.
News 3 Now, a proud sponsor of that event for many, many years. I know they're hoping for a really big year this year after a couple of year pause.
Yeah, hopefully we see a bit of a bounce back to make it a huge year. That would be wonderful.
All right, 6:48 right now on a Friday morning. Coming up in the morning sprint, a former Badger announcing his retirement from the NFL.
First, though, we want to say happy birthday to Benjamin and Derek. Great pick. And everybody turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Save big on throwback sale at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley. Get an Ashley Sleep Twin mattress starting at $169. Save $1,000 instantly on Serta Cozy Escape Sleeper Pillow Top. Guaranteed delivery in 5 days or less on in-stock mattresses. Shop now at Ashley.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Simply lock in your order on select Ford vehicles and we'll lock in your rate. Even if rates go up before your order comes in, you're protected. That's how Ford is supercharging your summer. Now place your order and lock in an annual percentage rate of 2.9% for 60 months on select Ford vehicles.
I love this state. Knock on any door in any county, and you'll find good-hearted, hard-working folks. People whose businesses I proudly helped as Lieutenant Governor. Hard work needs to be respected again, with fair wages and opportunities to get ahead. That's how my parents opened doors for me. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm not one of these millionaires. I work just as hard for you as you work for your family. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Out here, we know a thing or two about beef. Hy-Vee knows beef too. Only 6 out of 100 cattle are even good enough to bear the Hy-Vee brand. Only 6 out of 100. Quality like that is hard to find. So enjoy your Hy-Vee steak this weekend. You've earned it.
Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people of Wisconsin for more than 30 years. We know that accidents happen to good people, and when they do, it's important to have a winning team on your side. Trust our team at Gruber Law Offices to fight for the money you deserve. Wisconsin's hometown firm, Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Need to update your furniture? Menards is your one-stop shop with all of the latest furniture styles at the lowest prices. Plus, a great selection in stock ready to take home today. So go ahead, relax in a recliner, get cozy in a love seat, or simply unwind with a comfy sofa. Need more seats? We've got sectionals too. Get 11% off on your new furniture set now at Menards. Hurry in. These deals won't last long. Wisconsin Save Big on Throwback Sale happening now at Ashley. Save up to 58% off doorbusters while they last, plus special financing for 5 years. Shop now to see our lowest prices in store at Ashley.
$92 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet.
6:52, time for the morning sprint.
Madison police say a man's thumb was bitten off during a fight at Warner Park. Officers were called to that area just before 6 in the morning on Wednesday. Police say the argument started between two people who knew each other while they were drinking at the park. The 63-year-old man whose thumb was bitten off was taken to the hospital, but no arrests have been made yet.
We now know the identity of a person who was hit by a car in the Beltline last weekend. Medical examiners say that 40-year-old Carmelo Garcia Alvarado of Nicaragua died at the scene of the crash on the westbound Beltline near Ag Avenue or Agriculture Drive. Alvarado was not in a vehicle when he was hit by a car. It happened just after 5 a.m. last Saturday. The medical examiner confirmed he died from his injuries. The crash remains under investigation.
A competency exam is being ordered for a man accused of sexually assaulting a woman on State Street. 22-year-old Ivan Smart is facing charges of first-degree sexual assault and false imprisonment as a party to a crime. Prosecutors allege Smart and another man groped a woman without her consent as she waited for an Uber before taking that woman to another vehicle and driving away. The woman eventually was able to fight her way out of the car. Smart is due back in court late next month.
Firefighters in Janesville say a fire last night caused $80,000 damage. It happened on Greenwich Lane off of Mount Zion Avenue. No one was hurt. There are 4 adults and 2 kids in the care of the American Red Cross this morning. A cat is unaccounted for as well. According to the Red Cross, their disaster volunteers have helped 31 people in Beloit and Janesville since July 1st.
After 8 seasons in the NFL, James White announced he's retiring. The former Badger was drafted in the 4th round by the Patriots and spent his entire career in New England, where he won 3 Super Bowls. White was a 4-time team captain and racked up over 4,500 total yards and 36 touchdowns.
The FDA ruled earlier this week that reducing the dose of monkeypox vaccine is an approved way to stretch the limited supply. Meanwhile, the maker of the monkeypox vaccine is raising some concerns about that decision. In a letter, Bavarian Nordic said that the new approach, quote, may have a negative impact on vaccine uptake and coverage. The FDA commissioner defending the agency's decision on social media, saying the new dosing regimen resulted in some side effects, but they were manageable.
The medical examiner's office identifying a bicyclist who died after being hit by a car earlier this week. 79-year-old William Cummings of Madison died after being hit by a box truck while riding his bike in the area of Flom Road and Mustang Way. That happened on the east side back on August 1st. Officials say Cummings died at the scene. That crash still under investigation.
House Democrats hoping to pass a landmark climate, health care, and tax bill today. The Inflation Reduction Act includes nearly $400 billion to fight climate change. It also allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices and puts a limit on how much seniors spend out of pocket on medication. Republicans strongly oppose the legislation, arguing it may increase inflation, partly due to a new 15% tax rate on corporations.
Johnson & Johnson says it will discontinue its talc baby powder worldwide. It comes about 2 years after doing so here in North America. The pharma giant faces nearly 40,000 lawsuits claiming the talc powder caused illness, including cancer, because of asbestos contamination, which is a known carcinogen. In a statement, J&J says it stands behind the decades of independent scientific analysis, confirming its talc baby powder is safe. The National Basketball Association is retiring Bill Russell's jersey number. He is the first player to have his number retired across all 30 teams. Russell is the most successful player in NBA history with 11 titles and 5 MVPs. He also became the first black head coach in the league.
And as we put a bow on our forecast for this morning, this is the 3 things we're going to need to know. A thunderstorm, some showers are possible for today and going into our Saturday as well. But outside of that, folks, 80s will return for Saturday, but the 70s will be in the forecast going into Sunday and for the rest of next week. And it is going to be a dry trend as well until we get into next Thursday and Friday, where we have rain chances and potentially a storm returning to our forecast, guys.
Julian, thank you, and thanks so much for joining us. We're back with a live update here in about 30 minutes. Have a wonderful weekend.